Han discovers his distinctive ability to interfere with the system and bring up the stat window. Half master and half hero, Han contemplates the possibility of intruding into areas allowed only for the master. Armed with a cart full of materials, he ventures into the blacksmithing area, facing challenges like insufficient facilities and no available blacksmith. Undeterred, Han manually crafts a well-forged longsword through a complex puzzle minigame. Exploring various crafting options, he successfully forges a balanced shortbow, a sharp long spear, and a hard iron shield, showcasing his extraordinary crafting skills. Despite the danger of using cheats and crafting methods not allowed for heroes, Han creates weapons of remarkable quality, leaving his companion Jenna in awe. Han assures Jenna that potential thefts can be prevented by using the exclusive weapon function. The day arrived for a new adventure, and Han, Jenna, and Aaron prepared to face Floor 4. Equipping themselves in the armory, they entered a forest environment with a mission to annihilate goblins and harpies. Jenna, armed with a bow, targeted the harpies, while Han and Aaron defended against goblins. Despite initial fear, Aaron overcame his hesitation, and with Jenna's encouragement, the trio successfully cleared the stage, earning rewards and marking Aaron's level up, with Han securing the MVP title. After returning through the rift of time and space, Han wiped the blood off his sword, signaling the end of their recent battle. Aaron, exhausted and trembling, collapsed, while Jenna comforted him. Despite Aaron's limited contribution in the battle, he was added to Anything's favorites, securing his survival. Jenna jokingly said that Aaron will be Han's number 2 subordinate. Speaking of subordinates, Han reminisces about his own subordinates in Niflheimer series, his number 1 subordinate and other 6 stars hero with level 99. Han thinks he might encounter them in the future if he plans to climb higher into the tower. Han is not worried about Niflheimer despite him not being there. Pick Me Up is an AFK game and the management is left with his Vice Master series. Han noticed something unusual happening in the plaza. The master made a purchase through a holographic screen, obtaining gems and gold coins. Han explained the master's need for money in the game and speculated on Anything's identity, noticing his fixed login times and strategic gameplay. Soon, the plaza experienced vibrations, and various completion windows appeared, showcasing the evolution of facilities, including the expansion of the dormitory, construction of the dining hall and carpentry workshop, upgrades to the training ground, and the creation of the equipment crafting hall. The plaza transformed, gaining vitality with new objects. Han summarized the situation to Jenna and Aaron, emphasizing the master's role in improving the waiting room as they ascended through the floors. As they awaited further developments, the summoning portal opened, initiating a common summon using gold. In Pick Me Up, there are 2 ways to summon. Regular summoning uses gold and summons low-star heroes. Gold can be earned in-game by clearing floors and completing missions. Advanced summoning uses gems and summons high-star heroes. Gems can only be exchanged by spending real money. 10 individuals emerged, confused and anxious, questioning Han and the others about their sudden appearance. Han, indifferent to their inquiries, unsheathed his blade and made it clear that the master summoned them. Isel, adding a touch of intimidation, divided the newcomers based on their skills, designating roles for the new facilities. Carpenters, blacksmiths, and cooks were selected, leaving the rest to form a new party. The process highlighted the practical considerations of military occupations, echoing the idea that individuals would be assigned roles based on their talents. As Isel initiated the rift of time and space for those without special talents, Han reflected on the necessity of experiencing the challenges firsthand in the tower. Isel called out the names of several individuals, instructing them to fight monsters through the rift. The newcomers faced a choice of going on foot or flying into the challenge. The experience reflected the concept of screening in Pick Me Up, where inexperienced heroes unable to adapt to the situation were automatically filtered out. Dika, Deckard, Sigler, and Chloe were announced by Isel, and Aaron, determined to help, volunteered to join their party. Despite initial hesitations, Aaron's willingness to protect and support the others led to his inclusion. Aaron's group returned unscathed from the battle with the goblins. Despite facing only a single goblin, Aaron and his team successfully completed the task, and Han commended Aaron for his performance. Inside the expanded dormitory, the living room had transformed into a spacious lobby, providing a comfortable atmosphere for the 11 individuals. As Jenna marveled at the improved facilities, Han made his way to the lobby's restaurant, observing the well-equipped kitchen. While the main ingredient remained potatoes, the prospect of gathering cooking ingredients from the weekly dungeon offered hope for culinary variety. Jenna cheered at the prospect of moving beyond baked potatoes, signaling a positive change in their meals. Dolph served dinner, which, to Jenna's disappointment, turned out to be baked potatoes. Expressing dissatisfaction, Han sighed, realizing that Dolph lied about his cooking skills. However, Han's observation of Chloe revealed her proficiency in cooking, offering the potential for diverse and improved meals in the future. Chloe, who had been silent until now, was named the new cook, relieving Dolph of his position. Dolph hurriedly offered to remake the meal, but Han pointed out the futility of lying, urging him to refrain from such actions. Chloe, undeterred, presented a variety of potato dishes that garnered positive reactions, especially from Jenna. Han gathered everyone around the dining table and explained the rules of the waiting room, emphasizing the collaborative nature of their existence in this world. The basic rules, survival through mission completion, and the prospect of liberation on the 100th floor were explained. The mention of synthesis caused some unease, but overall, the group seemed convinced and anxious yet willing to prepare for survival. As a few more days passed, the training ground saw continued activity. 3 guys joined the training and engaged in combat practice with Han. Despite their efforts, their attacks were slow and easily parried, showcasing the vast gap in skill levels. Han's heightened abilities, coupled with instinctive swordsmanship, granted him a significant advantage over them. Meanwhile, Jenna demonstrated remarkable proficiency in archery. Her low-rank archery skill has already reached level 5 and her low-rank dagger skill has also reached level 2. While Aaron struggled to progress further in spear technique. His spear skill has reached level 2, but hasn't been progressing any higher. He was the first to come to train and the last to head home, but he didn't get a useful skill. Observing the 3 boys, Guide, Hansen, and Dika, it became apparent that they had developed a sense of unity and improved their swordsmanship skills. As the group expanded, Aaron and the 3 boys took charge of a free 10 draw, reducing casualties during the initial battle. Jenna questioned why they hadn't progressed beyond the 4th floor. Han explained the dangers of advancing without adequate preparation and the need for 2 additional party members. The newcomers were reassured by Aaron's encouragement, unaware of the challenges that lay ahead beyond the 4th floor. Despite the uncertainty and potential dangers, Han chose not to disclose this information to Jenna, recognizing the importance of maintaining morale amidst the trials ahead. With Guide and Hansen joining the main party, Han's team reached full capacity just as Anything opened a portal, signaling a new challenge. They prepared for battle, facing familiar foes on the 4th floor. Han did not join the fight and let the others practice. Employing strategic formations, the group triumphed, demonstrating improved combat effectiveness. As the stage cleared, rewards were granted, and the trio of Guide, Hansen, and Dika celebrated their success. The time that the master is logged off has increased a lot. In the second 10 pull, they gained a blacksmith as well as a tanner and began to produce equipment. The blacksmith and tanner are collaborating with the carpenter to make equipment. They mostly create E-rank swords and shields. These were given to the new heroes and increased their survival exponentially. For the main party, higher quality equipment was given. Meanwhile, 3 inactive members were eliminated through synthesis, with Han, Jenna, and Aaron each gaining a level. Among them was Dolph, who lied about his profession. With the main party now complete, the impending challenge of the 5th floor loomed ahead, signaling a new chapter in their journey within the game. After a few more days, the rift opened for another adventure, and Guide expressed eagerness for new challenges beyond the 4th floor. Anticipation filled the air as they prepared to face the 5th floor, expecting greater challenges but feeling prepared for them. Upon arrival, they found themselves in an abandoned city, devoid of life or monsters, a departure from their previous missions. They cautiously explored the desolate city, encountering eerie sights like human remains and bloodstains. As they reached the city center, the absence of enemies persisted, prompting Han to send Jenna to scout from atop a spire. Her report revealed a horde of thousands of goblins approaching the city, signaling the commencement of a survival mission on an unprecedented scale. As the party faced the daunting task of surviving a massive goblin onslaught, Han quickly formulated a strategy based on his extensive knowledge of battles and gameplay records. Han told the group that they only needed to survive for 10 minutes to clear the challenge. But it was a lie to keep their spirits high. In the timer that only Han can see, it says 30 minutes. Han instructed the party to find a defensible position in the city, leading them through narrow alleyways to minimize their exposure. With time running out, they finally settled on a strategic location with limited access points, where they could engage the goblins one by one. As the goblins' growls echoed closer, Han and his party swiftly erected barricades using the debris scattered in the alleyways. With each passing moment, tension mounted as they prepared for the imminent onslaught. Han's directives were clear: conserve energy, build effective barriers, and maintain vigilance. He positioned himself at the narrowest left passage, ready to face the goblins head-on. Eren, armed with a spear, took his position at the relatively wider right passage. Guide and Hansen were tasked with guarding the lower passage, with a strategic rotation plan in place to ensure endurance. Jenna, stationed at the center of the crossroads, awaited orders, her quiver of arrows at the ready. However, Han emphasized the importance of conserving ammunition, instructing Jenna to hold fire until absolutely necessary. As the first wave of goblins approached, Han urged his comrades to remain focused and efficient. He emphasized the need to create makeshift barriers using goblin corpses and to switch positions when exhaustion set in. Despite their valiant efforts, the relentless onslaught of goblins threatened to overwhelm their defenses. Han issued orders to his companions, coordinating their actions and rotations to maintain a solid defense. However, the goblins displayed unexpected cunning, adapting their tactics to dismantle the barricades and clear a path through the alleyway. Han fought relentlessly, strategically aiming for weak points and maximizing efficiency with each move. He relied on his companions to reinforce the barricades and switch positions when exhausted. While Han and Eren held strong, Guide and Hansen struggled due to their lower levels and inexperience. They faced exhaustion quickly and relied on each other to switch positions during the intense battle. Meanwhile, Jenna proved her worth by fending off goblins attempting to breach the open area, preventing the party from being surrounded. Jenna, positioned in the open area, played a crucial role by eliminating goblins attempting to climb over the walls and retrieving her arrows for reuse. As the minutes passed, the intensity of the battle escalated, and the toll on the party became increasingly apparent. Despite their determination, Guide suffered a grievous injury. Guide's sudden cry of pain broke through the chaotic din of battle, drawing Han's immediate attention. He swiftly assessed the situation, noting the severity of Guide's injury. His right hand was severed, blood gushing forth in a crimson stream. Han gritted his teeth, his mind racing as he weighed their options. Time was running out, and the goblin horde showed no signs of relenting. With Guide gravely wounded and their defenses crumbling, their chances of survival grew increasingly slim. Despite Guide's worsening condition and decreasing stamina, Han remained steadfast in his determination to defend against the goblin onslaught. As the goblins breached their barricades and threatened to overwhelm them, Han took charge of protecting the open space while Jenna tended to Guide's injuries. With each passing moment, the intensity of the battle grew, and the party's exhaustion became increasingly apparent. Despite their valiant efforts, the goblins continued to press forward, exploiting any weaknesses in their defenses. As Han and his companions fought desperately to hold their ground, the minutes ticked away, each one feeling like an eternity. With only moments remaining, tragedy struck as Guide got stabbed by a goblin, his life hanging in the balance. In the heat of the battle, the urgency of their situation was palpable. Despite the chaos and the desperate need for immediate medical attention, there was no time for Guide's wounds to be tended to. Hansen swung his sword with fervor, oblivious to Guide's fading strength behind him. Han wielded his sword, his muscles tensing with determination as he plunged it into the oncoming horde of goblins, one after another. With each thrust, he fought with unparalleled ferocity, driving the creatures back and buying precious moments for his comrades. With Guide's life slipping away, Jenna's arrows found their marks with deadly accuracy, but her quiver soon ran dry, leaving her helpless to aid her fallen comrade. Hansen, without Guide to switch with him, was overpowered by the goblins as well. He was pleading with Han for assistance, but Han was unable to assist him due to the goblins surrounding him. Han and his companions fought on, their skills honed by the intensity of the battle. A lot of skills were leveled up, but it would be useless if they didn't make it out alive. Despite the overwhelming odds, they refused to yield, their unwavering resolve driving them forward in the face of certain death. Desperation fueled their actions as Han issued urgent commands to Jenna, directing her to climb the wall first with Eren to follow, while he held off the encroaching goblins. With each swing of his weapon, Han fought with ferocity, his strikes revealing the vulnerabilities of the goblins' chests, while Eren wielded his spear with rugged determination. As Jenna ascended the wall, Han and Eren continued to fend off the goblins, their numbers multiplying with each passing moment. Despite their best efforts, wounds began to appear on Han's body, marking the toll of the intense battle. With Jenna safely on the roof, Han quickly followed, extending his hand to help Eren ascend. But tragedy struck as Eren's attempt to climb was met with a blade embedded in his calf, leaving him incapacitated and dangling from the wall. With no other options left, Han made the split-second decision to sever Eren's leg, allowing Jenna to pull him to safety. With Eren's condition worsening and the goblin horde closing in, Han and Jenna fought relentlessly, using whatever weapons they could find to fend off the relentless onslaught. But as the seconds ticked by and their strength waned, the situation grew increasingly dire. With the roof surrounded by goblins and their escape routes cut off, Han and Jenna fought with every ounce of strength they had left, their minds consumed with thoughts of survival and despair. As Han's vision grew hazy and his body screamed for rest, a newfound sense of determination surged within him, pushing him to fight on despite the overwhelming odds. In a moment of desperation, Han's fury was unleashed, driving him to push past his limits and fight with a newfound ferocity. He gathered all the mental fortitude he had left and refused to give in to weakness. This alleyway was not where he wanted to die. Holding on to his dignity, he was determined to persevere and get over the 5th floor, even if it meant staying a little while longer. Han has awakened and gained the skill, Berserk. With his newfound strength, he fought on, refusing to surrender to the darkness that threatened to consume him. With a ferocious cry, Han hurled his sword at the goblin scaling the wall, his anger and desperation fueling his every move. Beside him, Jenna's weak scream echoed as a dagger lodged itself in her side, staining her dress crimson. The situation grew increasingly dire as dozens of goblins swarmed onto the roof. With his right arm growing numb and the world spinning around him, Han continued to fight on, his thoughts consumed by the chaos around him. And then, as if time had frozen, the goblins' movements halted. Their blades and claws pointed at Han as the countdown reached 0.